Good evening, everyone, and welcome to VSL Round 2 here in Austria. Stream started a little bit early because we have our first sprint race of the season, so we'll be jumping straight into a one-shot qualifying. So that's why this stream is up before qualifying because they're only going to get one lap, and we want to make sure we don't miss anything. So yeah, we'll just maybe have to have a little bit of a wait for people to join. We only have 11 at the minute. I'm not too sure how many we're supposed to have, but there are a few faces missing that I can point out straight away. But yeah, so we'll just wait for whoever still needs to join, and then we will be going in hopefully a couple of minutes' time. So yeah, our first sprint race of the season, only the second round, so we're jumping straight into the action with the sprint races. So a one-shot qualifying with a 12-lap race and then a 36-lap race, the longer race, coming second. And we are at Austria. Yeah, we are at Austria tonight. So yeah, that should be fast-paced action. A very good track for racing. A lot of DRS trains are definitely possible due to the amount of DRS zones that there are. Is there three? I think there's three. I'm not too sure if they got rid of the one between turn 1 and turn 2. I can't quite remember. But there's definitely two. Maybe three. So it is quite an easy track to follow. And I'm not sure. Yeah, I do have game audio. So I'm not sure. We may only have 11 tonight, so it's a little bit poor, but I'm sure we will make do. But yeah, we are readying up now. So we should be going soon. I'll get the standings up quickly. If I can find them. As I look. I'll have to have a second to find those. Yeah, we are going. So that is all good. That is all very, very good. And so I'm just trying to find the standings. And obviously more rounds means more possibility for it to be wet. Here we are. I've finally got the standings up. So obviously last time out we had Silverstone, an absolutely crazy race, and Hassler coming home for the win in that one. And it's our hot speed P2 Y Racer third in the championship. Jordan, Acorn, Newgarden, Jim Strav, Gareth having a poor out in our reigning champion down in P8. Ryan Berry ninth, and Tony, that's your top 10 in the standings. Hashtag is here today. Is hot speed, yeah. Y Racer, yeah. So the top three are all there. Here's Jordan, yeah, Jordan. So most of the people that were here last week are here again. So that's good for championship wise. I know it is only the second round, but we don't want any runaways like we had last season. Although, not to discredit Gareth, but he didn't really give us an entertaining title fight in the drivers aspect. The constructors was definitely entertaining, but hopefully the drivers this season will be a little bit closer, especially with Gareth having a poor first round. I'm not too sure if we have a 2-minute what's it called? A 2-minute break before people are allowed to ready up in one-shot quali. I know we obviously do for the sprint race and the feature race, but I'm not sure if that is a thing for the one-shot quali or not. So we'll wait and see when people are ready up. But it is dry, so that is good for the majority of people. I had a race in Austria this week, and it was full wet, and there we go. We have, or at least one person readied up, so we will be going for the one-shot quali in 20 seconds. All the action about to happen. Who will get pole? Will Hassler be able to carry on his fine form from Silverstone? Let's find out. We need to figure out who we're going to go on board with as well. So let's go on board with Hassler. I think that is only fair. Coming down to turn 1. A 90-degree right-hander. A lot of right-handers here. Only 2 left-handers in the middle sector. The rest, the other 7 proper corners are all right. Now down this little bit of a bendy straight down towards the hairpin, that is turn 2. Heavy on the brakes. Well, technically it's turn 3, but it's the second proper corner. And now opening the DRS for the second time in this lap. Or it might be the third. I didn't see that straight if that straight on DRS. But now down into turn, we'll call this turn 3. This is turn 3. The long right, easy to run wide, don't touch the gravel. Hausberger not using too much of the track, staying within the limits currently, 4th. Now to the 2 lefts on the track. Yes, that one alright, we'll go on board with them for the second half of the lap. Takes it in to the second left, don't run too wide because you easy to get invalid. And now down to the 2 fastest corners on the track, the double right of 8 and 9. Takes it in, gets his apex quite nice, he doesn't use all the track, and he's jumped up to P1 now. If he keeps it clean for the final corner, it should be pole for Hausberger, it's going to be. How much is it going to be pole by? It's going to be pole by over 3 tenths, so what an incredible lap from Hausberger there, especially in the second half. And that is fast-paced action there for qualifying. I only saw Hausberger on pole, and I think it was Jordan second maybe. We'll have to have a look through the top 10, well, we'll call it the top 11, because, oh, that is big. Gareth there at last getting his lap time invalidated. So our radio champion, the start of the season, pretty much of his nightmare so far. So it is Hausberger taking home an incredible 1 minute 5.4 for pole position. 3 tenths around Austria is nothing to bat an eye about. I think that's the same. Nothing to bat an eye about. Hot speed coming home in P2. Jordan third. Them two pretty close to each other. And then it was Tony and Acorn 4th and 5th, the 2 Alfa Romeos. Then the 2 Red Bulls of Y Race for Newgarden 6th and 7th. And the slowest of the valid lap times was Ryan Berry, who I assume made a mistake on that lap, 2.5 seconds off pole. So we will have to see how people get on in the sprint race. And while we have our 2-minute interval, I will try and run you through the points for the sprint race and how the points work. So obviously our sprint race has points available, so there is more points available this week than there would be normally, and I think that is dry, isn't it? It's very cloudy, so another dry race, but looks like there could be rain in the air. That is something to definitely keep an eye on. So the top 8 drivers will score points in the sprint race, with basically in descending order. First scoring 8th, second scoring 7th, third scoring 6th, so on, so on, so on, until 8th scores 1 point. So there are points available, but obviously not as much as the main race. So yeah, 8 points to the winner, and then 1 point to 8th, and then you can just work out in between. We have a 1 minute break in between qualifying and the sprint race, I've been told, so not too long. And it'll be interesting to see what tyres people are going to go on to. You can obviously go to softs and be quick early on and have to conserve them to the end, or what I think most people will decide to do is the mediums all the way through. Not too fast, well, not too slow, but should comfortably go the full distance. So yeah, we have people readied up. 20 seconds until we get going with the formation lap. And we will get to see what tyres people are on. I'm going to, once again, assume most people are on mediums. It does seem the sensible choice. Maybe people like Gareth further at the back could go for softs to try and make their way through, but let's have a look. And it's actually looking like softs for most people. Let's have a... But no, that was mediums. There are a few softs. Y Racer and Ryan Berry going on softs. I'm just going to turn my gain down a bit. It seems pretty loud. Sorry about that. That should be alright. So, yeah, that should be better. So yeah, Hausberger, Hot Speed, Jordan, Tony and Acorn, the top 5, all choosing the medium tyres. Y Racer on the softs in P6. Newgarden, his Red Bull teammate, on the mediums in a little bit of a soft sandwich, as Ryan Berry is in P8. Then Mike N89 and Gareth round out the grid, all on mediums. So we'll have to see how things develop. Keep an eye on Y Racer and Ryan Berry. We'll sort out our HUD. Let's get all this stuff up. There we go. And the tyres, yep, we are all ready to go. We just need to wait for them to complete this formation lap. Obviously, Austria, the shortest track on the calendar, well, the fastest lap time. I don't think it is actually the shortest track. I'm going to assume Monaco is shorter. But yeah, 12 laps, a very fast-paced race about to happen. So I'm expecting action all over the track from the front of the grid all the way to the back. So plenty to keep our eyes on. And Haslager very aggressive on the weaving there, almost going for a bit of a pit entry. But yeah, coming up to the grid now. Where is... So Gareth has backed off a little bit. Look at that, he's maybe wanting to let those drivers out front. Their tyres cool down a little bit. Give them potentially a worse start. But here we go, as Haslager slowly creeps up to his grid slot and stops it nicely. And there we have a Red Bull having made a bit of a mess of the grid slot. I think that's Y-Racer on his softs. Mike, who is filling in the Alpine seat today, he gets disqualified, and Gareth, the last one on the grid, lines up. So the lights about to come on here for the sprint race in Austria. Who is going to take the actual pole position? Who knows? It's 5 lights. And away we go here in Austria for the sprint race, and it is a good start there from Haslager. Hot speed not getting a great start. He's going to come under pressure from Jordan. The Alfa Romeo, sorry, looking to go around the outside there. I'm not too sure who that is. I think that's Acorn. It is. And have we had a spinner there? I'm not too sure, but Gareth has made 2 positions already. And look at this battling for P2. Jordan up to P2 for now. Acorn and Hot speed pressuring him closely. Oh, there's going to be contact there between the Alfa Romeo and the Alfa Tauri. That is Acorn and Jordan getting very close and tussling. What can Nugan? Nugan's had a good start actually. Nugan up to P5. It all seems pretty calm, not any major collisions. That is Mike trying to go around the outside of Y-Racer for P7. If we jump back to the front, it's Haslager, 7/10 lead now. He needs to look to build that 1 second gap before the third lap gets underway. But it is Jordan who has managed to work his way up to P2. Acorn third, Hot speed fourth, but he's pressuring the back of Acorn. What can the Haasman do after having a poor start down in P4 after starting second? Let's see what he can do. As Haslager sets fastest lap, he has broken that 1 second gap. So what an absolutely amazing first lap from Haslager, showing some really incredible early pace. Is the Ferrari. Acorn all over back of Jordan, he's burning, he gets off the ERS button, but he's still going to go for the move. He has the straight line speed. Face to the left, go to the right, down the inside for the turn 2/3 hairpin. Does he get it stopped? He doesn't. Stops perfectly in front of the Alfa Tauri. That was an incredible move there from Acorn. Can Jordan come back, or does he have no response? He doesn't have any response, and in fact he's going to have to look behind him straight away. He can't afford to come back in. He's got Hot speed all over his rear end, but he manages to defend well from the halves. Is Nugan going to dive it down the inside? No, he decides to back out. Sensible decision, you've got to imagine there from the Red Bull. Well, a bit of a train developing for P2 here. Acorn at the head. And look at that lead, Haslager. Already 2 seconds and still growing is that lead. And a poor corner there from Jordan, coming out of the final corner of turn 9, and that's going to allow Hot speed to maybe have a go. He's going to sit behind him for now. DRS enabled. And yeah, there is DRS down the straight, so yeah, 3 DRS zones around here. I don't know why I was having a real big brain fart about that. But that is a mistake for Y-Race on the softs. So the softs are not working for these two. Y-Race from Ryan Berry, they're in 9th and 10th as it stands right now. And that is a dive around the outside from Y-Race. Has he got the move on Gareth? He has, so Gareth's struggling a little bit as well maybe. And here comes N89 on him. Horrible camera angle. But N89 does get the move done, so he is up into P9 now, and Gareth down to P10. A lot of battling going on here in the midfield. N89 making more moves, so the softs are just not working right now. Down to 9th is Y-Racer. And Gareth, he'll be looking to make his way through the field. But let's go back towards the front a bit more. Hot speed still right up the back of Jordan. Less than 2 tenths the gap between the two of them. He can't get much closer without touching the back of the Alfa Tauri. And now DRS enabled. There should be more moves, and I think Y-Racer's had a spin. He has. Y-Racer on the softs has had a spin out the final corner, so that is bad to worse for him, but it is only the sprint. There is time to come back for the Red Bull. Forget about this, get it to the end, maybe pick up on any incidents in front, and then focus on the main race. And look at that, that is hot speed nearly going into the back of Jordan. He's got to avoid him, going off the left side of the track. That might be a warning, I'm not 100% sure. There's Mike battling with 89 and picking up a penalty already, and who's that gone now? That is hot speed is gone. I'm not too sure what's happened there. I just cut away from it, but we have more battling going on at the front. It's Jordan and Acorn. Drama all over the field, as to be expected in the sprint race. People need to make moves quick, and they are. That is Jordan now, P2, Acorn third, Newgarden up to fourth. He's had a really good race so far. And Tony ran out top five. N89 also making moves, and those incidents as well. Oh, Jordan's gone! Jordan has gone from P2. He is now falling down to 8th, down to 9th. It's going to be 10th in a second, it is. So that is Jordan all the way down to P10 now, and Acorn is in the second place. And he's now got to shift his focus to Newgarden, who has burned through all his ERS already. Newgarden really heavy on the ERS usage. Can he find a way past Acorn? But this is all working perfectly for that man out front, Haslager. And now Tony's gone. People are really struggling with the grip here. That is our third or fourth spinner in the last lap and a half. There's Tony down to 8th, down to 9th. Will Jordan be able to get him? I don't think he will, but let's go back towards the front because there's still battling going on. Acorn, P2, Newgarden. He's burning even more ERS. Opens to DRS, and we've got more battling. As Gareth's now spun. They're all spinning. No one can keep it in a straight line. It's like there's ice on the track. It's like with NHL, not F1. So that's Gareth down to 7th. He's probably going to come under a bit of pressure now because his tyres will have overheated. But I think everyone behind him has also had a spin at some point. So people are struggling out there. It does look pretty overcast, so maybe the track is a bit cold and drivers struggling with tyre temps maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but very uncharacteristic mistakes, especially from Gareth. But we carry on. Mike has picked up a penalty there in P5. And Newgarden comfortably tucked in behind the Alfa Romeo of Acorn right now. They'll open the DRS, but he's not going to be close enough to make any moves just now. In fact, it's N89 is closer to him, if anything. Oh, N89, he's gone. They're all really struggling out there. That is Mike up to 4th. I think Ryan Berry's probably going to have to run here, and he's going to get him as well. Will he? Might have a move up into the hairpin. Or I think he's just about going to sit behind. He is. But those tyres are now going to be struggling a bit for N89. And now we've had another spin. It's Mike! Now Mike is gone. What is going on here? There is so many mistakes being made. This is absolutely crazy right now. So that is Tony getting past Mike. And hot speed. Oh, they've crashed! What's happened there? What has happened there? I'm not 100% sure what's happened. Someone slowed down on the straight. I'm going to have to watch that back on the stream. What has happened? Tony just slowed down on the straight for some reason. I am really not sure what's happened there, but I don't know what. Tony just slowed down on the straight, and I think it was Jordan just slammed into the back of him, and well, there was nothing really he could do. I mean, slowing down on a DRS straight like that, it wasn't Jordan, sorry, it was Mike who went into the back of him. But what has happened there? And unfortunately, that is hot speed out of the race. So yeah, wow, that is a baffling set of events. But we do have a safety car, unsurprisingly, and now a few people into the pits for Ryan Berry, who will be the first of the people coming out of the pits in P7. And this not good for Haslager, who had built a comfortable 4-5 second lead out front. Now that has been cut down. I'm just trying to wrap my head around what I've just seen there. That is crazy. That is one of the weirdest incidents I've ever seen. But yeah, we'll focus on now towards the rest of this race. Only 5 laps remaining when the safety car crosses the line, so you've got to imagine if the safety car isn't in this lap, it will come in next lap. So these guys, especially Mike here at the back, needs to try and catch as quick as possible. I wonder if we'll see any other pits. I wouldn't imagine so. I'm going to assume everyone that stayed out will be staying out for the foreseeable future. But that is so unfortunate for Hotspeed, who finds himself P11 and he will be starting the main race last. on the grid. But yeah, the safety car staying out for at least one more lap. I'm gonna assume it's gonna come in next time by. But that will allow Mike and the other pitters to catch up, which they have nearly all done. And let's see what difference they can make. Fresh softs compared to 7-lap-old mediums. I wonder if we may see some team orders down at AlphaTauri with Jordan letting Ryan go. Wouldn't imagine so, not so early on in the season. Fight for everything that you've got, but who knows, this is Formula 1, a team game. It's supposed to be anyway, although sometimes that doesn't really come into fruition. But everyone now on the back of the safety car, now it's just about preparing your tyres for that restart at the end of the lap. So it will be Haslager's job to control the field on this restart as the lights go out on top of the safety car and the safety car zooms off into the distance to return back to the pits. When will Haslager decide to go? Will he go early? Will he go late? That is all up to him to decide. Everyone needs to try and bunch up as close as possible. So let's go on board with Acorn. Let's see how he can react to Haslager. He has to wait till the safety car has entered the pit lane before he can go, so he has to wait a little bit longer. And there goes the safety car. You can see it on the minimap peeling off onto the right, so he can go any time from now, I'm pretty sure. And there we go, he goes before the final corner. He gets a good jump on Acorn there. And Acorn actually having a pretty poor restart, burning quite a lot of DRS to try and close that gap back up. We will just about get DRS, I'm pretty sure, on the second last lap, I think. So there will be DRS enabled towards the end of this race. Jordan, though, putting the pressure on Tony here. So I'm sure we'll be under investigation for that incident that caused that safety car. And in fact, it's the AlphaTauri with Ryan Berry going down the inside of his teammate Jordan. I did not see that coming. And who's that spun out? That's Newgarden. Newgarden has now spun out, and he's down to P8, P9, and that will be P10 for him, I'm pretty sure. And here comes Ryan Berry. Is he going to have another go at his teammate into the brakes over turn 4? He's not. He's going to sit behind him. And Acorn has managed to stick with Haslager better than last time. In fact, it's N89 and Tony who are dropping off a little bit. I'm not sure if they had a little tussle there to lose them a bit of time. But still very close in the midfield as these soft runners try to get their way up the field. Let's see. Here comes Ryan Berry on his teammate Jordan. You've got to imagine Jordan's going to back out of this one and concede the position. He will, and that looks like a really dodgy line there from Ryan. And oh, that was Gareth nearly going into the back of Jordan. Will that allow Y-Racer to maybe make a move? I think he was close and had to back off it maybe. He was too close. Too good a run for the Red Bull. And that is a purple last sector for Ryan Berry, according to the minimap. And out front is Haslager with a 1.1 second lead. Here comes Gareth on Jordan. And I think Y-Racer is going to follow him through. He's going to try anyway. Down the inside. And can Jordan hold it? He's got a good run. Really good exit there from Jordan. Look at that. Wow. Really, really good traction from the AlphaTauri. But here comes Y-Racer again. Will Jordan defend the inside? No, he gives up the inside to the Red Bull. So he thinks he can out-traction him once more. Can he? A bit of contact, a little bit of wheel banging. But Jordan seems to have good traction, but maybe that drive is not quite there. The softs coming out on top. And now Jordan makes a bit of a mistake. I think that might allow Mike through maybe. Oh, we've had an N89 has spun. So N89 having another little spin there. Now he's going to promote him all the way to the back and he will not have enough time to recover from that one. And here we go for P3. Ryan Berry and Tony just in front of Gareth here. DRS should be enabled now. It is. And there we go. So there will be DRS for the final 2 laps of this Austria sprint. And I'm sure Gareth will be licking his lips. Look at that, the light flashing in front. Ryan Berry has not much DRS and he tries to go around the outside of turn 1 and that's not going to work and that's going to give him a terrible run. That's Gareth past Ryan Berry and that's going to be Y-Racer now trying to squeeze past. Whoa, that was close there between the the AlphaTauri and the Red Bull. And now it's Gareth who's going to try and challenge Tony. Ooh, that was a Red Bull nearly to the back of him. And there's been all sorts of movements here towards the back. So many battles and overtakes and little collisions. But we carry on. Not too many big dramas. Here comes Gareth around the outside of Tony. Is he going to get his move done? He will. He might run a bit wide. That could allow Tony to come back at him. but I think now he's P3 in the bag for Gareth at the minute. So Gareth making a very good comeback drive from last on the grid in this sprint race up to third. And now Tony needs to focus on the cars behind, because I think he's about to come under pressure from Y-Race. Y-Race going to go for it into the second last corner. No, he's going to sit behind and wait for that DRS straight down towards turn one. Oh, he runs a little bit wide there, and that could allow Ryan Berry. Look at the run though. That is a crazy run from Y-Race, but he doesn't have any ERS really. He's got 8%. But neither does Ryan Berry. Has a little bit more, but not too much more. And that was a poor turn one there from the Alpha Tower. I think that could allow the Red Bull to be safe to the cars behind and now focus on getting the Alfa Romeo in front. I don't think he's close enough for that either. And Jordan getting past Newgarden there as well. Oh, Jordan's going to run a little bit deep, see. He's going to just about keep it on the track. And now he's going to open the DRS to Newgarden to try and come back at the Alpha Tower. Look at that straight on speed. And this Mike, in fact, is going to go for a move down the inside of the Red Bull. Goes Mike, who does have that 3 seconds up, and I think that's going to drop him behind Newgarden either way. And that is Mike up to P8, but I'm pretty sure there's not going to be any more overtakes in this race, barring any spins or mistakes. That was a very good left-hander there from Y-Race, and that could allow, in fact, to run down towards the second last corner. Although it's not going to happen. Ooh, that was close to contact there. But it's going to be Haslager who comes across the line to win the sprint here in Austria. Acorn P2, Gareth rounding off the podium. And look at this gaggle of cars now. It's Tony third, Y-Race fourth, Ryan Berry and Jordan, the two AlphaTauri, 6th and 7th. Newgarden beats Mike on penalties, Mike 9th. And the last of our finishers will be N89 coming across the line for P10. And then our one DNF as well. But what a race from Haslager, carrying on from where he left off in Silverstone. Gareth getting the driver today, probably deservedly as well. From last up to third, sorry, I was about to say second. But yeah, very good drive there from Haslager. And as you can see, that is how the points are handed out. So that will give you a little bit of an idea heading into the main race. Haslager, obviously, he was leading the championship into this race, so he's not going to lose it because he's got the most points. But yeah, we will now move on to the main race in a second. Who got the fastest lap? It was Gareth with a 7.1. And only the one penalty, so Austria is normally a track that is quite easy to get a few penalties. There are quite a few corners that are easy to run wide, so we will see how people do in the main race. Obviously, I think it's 36 laps for the main race, so there should be a lot more time for drama. So that can't be a bad thing. And it is overcast once again. It's pretty similar looking to the sprint race at the start anyway. So let's see if people struggle with the conditions, because there were a few spins in that race. Well, a lot of spins really, a lot more than we are used to. But we will have our little 2-minute break. I'm going to go quickly grab a drink just before this second race, and I will join you for the start in just about a minute now. So we should be readying up pretty soon, I imagine, for the race, for the main race to start. Dry conditions, so expect to see a split of mediums and hards. No softs, I don't think we'll be seen in this one. Although, can you do medium softs? I don't think so. I think it's a hard medium or medium hard for this race, just like it is on pretty much every race on this game. Unfortunately, not too much strategy variety. So we will see. I think we should be readying up pretty soon. But let's see if Haslager can make it 3 from 3 in race wins, having won the first race last week in Silverstone and the first sprint race here in Austria. Can he make it a turkey and win the main race in Austria as well? If we have a look at the calendar, let's have a look when our next sprint race is after today. So looking at the calendar, we have a couple of weeks until there's another sprint race. We have Hungary next. That will be round 5. So in the meantime, we have Miami and Spain round 3 and 4 respectively. And then we're off to Hungary for the next sprint. And then we have we have 2 other sprints throughout this 12 race calendar. We have Monza round 9 and the final race in Brazil round 12. That is also a sprint race. So look forward to those as well. The title could be going down to a sprint race. That would be a strange set of circumstances, potentially winning the title on a sprint race. I'll have to do a bit of quick maths on the fly if that were to happen, but I think that's looking a bit too far in the future. Let's focus on the present and now, because we have a 36 lap race around Austria to look forward to. So let's have a look at what tyres people are on and how things are shaping up. So we actually do have all 3 compounds making an appearance at the start of this race. It is the top 5 once again, all starting on mediums. That's Haslager, Acorn, Gareth, Tony and Y-Racer, all choosing the medium tyres. And then Ryan Berry in P6 is going for an aggressive strategy on the soft compound, and then in fact it's the complete opposite to the other AlphaTauri. That is the EOT Jordan, who will be going for the hards. The same for Newgarden, also going for the hards in the Red Bull. And Mike filling in Alpine, he is on the softs, and then N89 on the hards. And running off the grid, our only DNFer from the sprint hot speed, he will be on the mediums. So that is your lot for strategy when it comes to the race in Austria. But obviously, many things can change. It does look a bit doom and gloom out there, so potentially some rain on the horizon, or an incident with a safety car, VSC, anything can happen. We just won't know. And that is the exciting thing, I believe. Anyway, but Haslager, quite a slow formation up here, really backing the pack up. He doesn't want to be sat on the grid too long, letting temperature drain out of those medium tyres. Well, we saw quite a few issues in the sprint with spinning. That was maybe because of cold tyres, so it does make it understandable why Haslager would be backing him up. Really doesn't want to lose any unnecessary degrees. Now pushes a little bit onto the grid, maybe do a burnout or 2 to really get the temperature going. There we go, look at that. Planting the throttle, get the rear wheel spinning, and there we have a Red Bull crashing in the background for the 2nd time today. Let's see how will Haslager line it up. He had a good start last time. Can he do the same now? And look at that, Acorn angling his car towards his rival in the Ferrari. But everyone now lining up on the grid. There's just the Haas moving into place, and we should be ready to go. So here we go, the lights are coming on here for the main race in Austria. And there's a jump start there for Ryan Berry. He gets a drive-through penalty, but now the lights have gone out for everyone else. Ryan Berry shoots off into the lead after that jump start. And in fact, it's going to be Acorn who jumps Haslager. He gets himself up into the net P1 position. It is P2 for now, but it will be P1. And there, I think there's been an incident behind. Is that Mike losing the rear end there? And that is an awful start for Tony, who drops all the way down to last place. Haslager, though, losing the P1 position to Acorn. And there is battling going on behind. Oh, that is late on the brakes there from Gareth. And they're 3 wide behind. So much action going on, hard to get a camera angle of all of it, but someone went shooting off, I think it was a Red Bull, maybe Y-Racer went flying off at the back there. And that is a drama-filled start compared to the sprint race, you'd have to say. And still this battling, fierce, not biased, towards the back. Going back towards the front, it is Acorn who has the best start. He is up into the net P1. Let's see if Ryan Berry will serve his drive through now. I think he has 3 laps to do it before he will get disqualified. And Mike actually pressuring Jordan. And there we have a spinner, our first spinner is 1089. He's already had a couple of spins today. And there is his first in the main race, and that drops him all the way to the back of the grid. And Ryan Berry staying out for now, not pitting just yet for that drive-through to be served. Here comes Mike on Jordan. He does a little dummy to the inside, but doesn't go for it fully. Now sits behind. DRS will be enabled next lap, so it's just pure organic engine speed, slipstream, and ERS for now. Let's actually get the stuff up. There we go. So, Mike already burning nearly 50% of his battery. That is very, very aggressive from the Alpine. Gareth and P3 burning a little bit there, but he's still got 90%. An aggressive amount of ERS used from Haslager actually as well. 73%. He's about 68 going into that turn 3. I really do need to be consistent with these corner names. I'll decide what's a corner and what's not. Screw the FIA. So yeah. Well, Ryan Berry, if he doesn't serve it this lap, he's got to do it next time by. And that will promote Acorn into the lead. There's some battling going on back here. Mike still putting pressure on Jordan. Ryan Berry stays out for now. So he has to come in next time by, otherwise he will be getting disqualified from this race. Just as I was taking a drink, Haslager dives down the inside of Acorn into turn 1. Here comes Acorn back at him. He's got the DRS, does Acorn. If he sits behind for now, he will get it for the next race as well. And he will. I think he's going to get it for the next race. Haslager tries to hang around the outside. Could this allow Gareth to come into play? Yeah, so Acorn gets the DRS. Haslager has to burn the ERS in the slipstream. He's going to have to go to the outside. But no, Acorn opens up the inside. There's more battling going on behind as well. But can Acorn hang it? Oh, it's going to be close. And I think Acorn manages to do so. So Acorn manages to do it as well. And that is Mike getting past Jordan as well for P5. But this battle for the net race lead right now is really hotting up already. Only 3 laps into this race. And Ryan Berry, he is pitting very illegally, according to the FIA rules anyway. I'm not too sure how strict we're being on pit entries. But Acorn not having the perfect final corner there. Will Haslager have a go down the inside? No, he sits behind him, waits. Will he open that DRS down towards turn 2? But Acorn gets a really good run, and in fact this Gareth is close, but Gareth saved the ERS, being smart about things as he often is. And here comes Haslager. He's going to overtake Acorn. Acorn's going to get the DRS once again. Is he going to be able to hold around the outside? It's going to be contact, and that's going to force Haslager through on Acorn. And here comes Acorn back at him. I don't know who to watch. Oh, that was really close to some contact there. Can Acorn go all the way around the outside? He's going to try it. I don't think it's going to come off. It's going to be Haslager into the lead. Haslager into the lead, but he's burnt all his ERS doing that. So he needs to pull out a gap now, because he's not going to have much to defend with. How much? He's on 10%. So yeah, he really doesn't have much to fight with anymore. And this could all favour Gareth. He has 92% ERS. So much more than both cars in front. He can pick and choose when to use it, as the others have already burnt nearly all of their ERS. And we have a spinner towards the back. It's Ryan Berry. He is round after serving that drive-through. It's gone from bad to worse for the AlphaTauri man. He is now all the way back. And look at this lead that Acorn's got already. Haslager's got an Acorn. I think Gareth needs to make a move now, because, I mean, Acorn's just losing time to the car in front. He doesn't seem to have the pace of Haslager. We have another spin again. That's Ryan Berry round for the second time in this lap. And Acorn, he's closing up to the back of Haslager. In fact, Acorn's ERS isn't too bad. I thought it was worse than that. 60% for the Alfa Romeo compared to 9% for the Ferrari. But he doesn't seem to have the ultimate pace of Haslager anyway. So I think Gareth is going to have to make a move sooner rather than later if he wants a chance of winning this race and sticking with Haslager. But can't forget about Mike. Although he is on the softs and those tyres will die off sooner than the cars in front, he is still a threat for now to these guys. And I think Haslager has broken the DRS of Acorn. He has. So this will make Acorn vulnerable to Gareth. I don't think Gareth will go for it into turn 1, but definitely a turn 2 overtake is on the cards for the Mercedes. All he needs to do is get a good exit. A little bit slow through the corner, but now burning with the DRS. Here we go. Here comes Gareth. He's going to be down the inside for the Mercedes. Brake and the just for the 100. Get it turned in. And there we go. That is how you make a clean overtake here in Austria. And now Gareth needs to push like L to try and catch up to Haslager and get within that DRS. So I think if that happens, I think he's got Haslager for breakfast. Here is Mike now pressuring Acorn. Could Acorn lose 2 positions in 1 lap? A switchback. What a move. That is an incredible move from Mike. The switchback through the left-hander. That was really not an overtaking spot. Now it's Acorn round. And oh no, Jordan's hit him. Jordan has hit Acorn's spinning car. I don't think there was any contact that caused Acorn to spin. It looked like he just got on the grass. And is that damage there for Jordan? It is there on the front right end plate. That is damage for the AlphaTauri. You're going to imagine he'll be entering the pits this lap. He is. That is so unfortunate for Jordan. And there's Mike. Oh, Mike has had a spin on those soft tyres. Maybe just overheating. And oh, he's gone back around on himself. That is so disappointing there for Mike. Jordan into the pits as well. But the race is not over. Anything could still happen. Let's go back towards the front because Gareth is now within DRS of Haslager. And he is closing 6/10 is the gap. Down to 5/10 at the end of the straight and now into the twisty bit. But this drama over the past lap and a half has really allowed these two to pull out a decent lead out front. 4.5 seconds to Y-Racer in P3, who is under a little bit of pressure himself from Tony. And a purple middle sector, apparently, for Gareth. So he's ready to put his foot down, showing the true pace that we know he has, but didn't quite see it in Silverstone. And I mean, we saw a little bit of a glimpse of it in the sprint race, but obviously starting so far back, it's hard to really judge someone's pace when they're working their way through the field. And that is Mike, who's had another spin, so those tyres are definitely cooked. Hot speed coming in with the fastest lap of the race, a 1 minute 8.1. So that is a nice surprise. Running P5 right now, setting the fastest lap of the race, but look at this, Gareth has closed up to the back of Haslager quicker than I expected. And look at the traction on the exit there. Ryan Berry's had another spin there in the AlphaTauri. That could put him close to being a lap down if he's got damage and has to pit again. Mike into the pits, get rid of those softs, but here comes, ooh! Here comes Gareth. He's getting squeezed onto the outside curve by Haslager. A very aggressive defence from the Ferrari. And now they're side by side coming down towards the 2 left-handers of turn 4 and 5. Or 5 and 6 even, sorry. But Haslager manages to hold on. Ryan Berry a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits. Mike putting on a set of mediums. So is Ryan Berry. So I'm not sure if they will get you to the end. I'm not too sure they will. But this battle up front is hotting up. Gareth on 100% ERS coming onto this straight. Haslager's managed to recover to 32, but still nothing compared to the Mercedes. And there is Ryan Berry exiting the pit lane just in front of these two. He'll want to stay on the lead lap in case there is a safety car. But here comes Gareth for round 2. Brakes a little bit. Ooh, I thought he broke a bit early, but then he seems to just not stop in time. Open the DRS for the 3rd serving on this lap. But Haslager seems to have had a better exit. He won't come under as much pressure this time by, so he'll retain in this order. Tony on the back of Y-Race, not being able to put too much pressure on him. But this battle up front is definitely the one to watch right now. Gareth running a little bit wide. And Haslager just seems to have the pace for the corners. I mean, he's very quick. Very, very quick. I mean, I know Gareth was able to close this gap quickly, but it's one thing to catch, it's another to pass, as they say. And Gareth has caught, but now can he pass? And the way it's looking right now, it seems to be maybe no. Not right now anyway. As Haslager is pulling that gap out to 7.5 tenths nearly. They've all come back down in this DRS side, down to just below 3.5 tenths through the turn 2 hairpin. Is there an opportunity down towards turn 3? There's not quite. Through turn 3 now. Gareth gets a good exit, but not really any overtake opportunities now until turn 1. Through 5. And then the long left of 6 through the little kink of 7. And now the fast double right of 8 and 9. Gareth, a better lap from him. He doesn't lose as much time to Haslager in front. These tyres 10 laps old, maybe starting to let out their first tear as they begin to cry. Down towards the hairpin, he's not burning, but he is close. He could maybe go for a move here if he's late on the brakes. He's going to stay tucked into the Ferrari's tracks. Short shifted through the gears on the exit to get better traction. But that Ferrari is definitely no slouch. Even on a straight line, it's not getting caught massively with DRS and slipstream by the Mercedes. So I wonder if that's Haslager running the low downforce or Gareth running high. Maybe a bit of both. But if that Ferrari is running low wings, he's definitely not feeling it too badly for the corners, because look at that, that seems to be where he's strongest, is through the corners. Now finishing another lap, starting lap 12, it's still Haslager in the lead, Gareth second. And if we look further back, Hot Speed is now caught up to the back of Tony. So Hot Speed, after having a miserable end to his sprint race, has worked his way up to P5 at the minute in the main race, and is pressuring Tony for P4 and potentially worried for P3 also. But here we go, Gareth now on the back of Haslager, burning the battery, open the DRS. Is he going to go late on the brakes? He's not quite got enough straight line speed to get side by side. So he's going to have to tuck back in once more. So no, Gareth is struggling just a tiny bit. Yeah, and there's a yellow flag in sector 2. I think that's N89 having another little spin there. So N89 really struggling today. Really not his best day at the office so far. But still on the lead lap, anything is possible. And in fact, talking about lead laps, Ryan Berry, he's done well. He's kept that gap pretty similar, if not increased it, maybe just a tiny bit. Oh, that was a bit of a mistake from the AlphaTauri. He will really want to stay on the lead lap, just in case slim possibility of a safety car. If you look back into P5, Hot Speed, he is not quite close enough to go for a move on Tony at the minute. Neither is Gareth, so everyone's kind of in a bit of a stalemate right now. Not too much in forms of overtake, but definitely drivers are putting pressure on one another. Maybe trying to look for a mistake. As I said earlier, it is it's one of the easier tracks to follow. You have to have quite a large pace deficit to get out of DRS, because there are just so many DRS zones. To close that gap back up, you pretty much have 4 corners to gain a second. So yeah, and as you can see, people are struggling to do that. Once you're in DRS, it is very hard to get back out of it. And now Gareth shifting up through the gears. He's burning a bit of battery, so maybe he's worried about Haslager just getting out of that DRS. He's feeling the need to burn. And Haslager goes a bit deep actually. So both drivers making little mistakes here and there, but none major enough to result in a position change. And Gareth once again just a car length too far back to go for a move. What about Tony on Y Racer? He's also just a car length too far back. Ooh, that was a little moment there for Gareth, getting a little bit loose on the exit of turn 5. And Hot Speed is very close to the back of Tony now. Going very defensive is Y Racer. Tony following his slipstream, but will compromise him just a tiny bit for turn 1. And now coming up towards the hairpin of turn 2. Oh, is Tony going to launch it? No, he's just going to sit behind him. Here comes Gareth once again. Still nothing to be done. Out front, we're coming towards half distance already. This race flying by. Looks like he ran a bit wide, but no, in fact he's losing a bit of time now. Here comes Gareth once more. He's still just stuck behind our race leader. Still no move to be made. Let's have a little bit look further back. Oh, that was a moment there from Y Racer, and here comes Tony. Finally, someone's going for an overtake. And it looks like it's going to be quite a simple one. Tony already heading to the brake zone. Here's why he's going to launch it back up the inside. He's still there. Side by side. No contact. Very good clean racing from those two. Tony up to P3. Y Racer down to P4. What about Hot Speed? Can Hot Speed get himself involved in this? Ooh, Tony. I thought he was going to lose it there. And out front. Haslogger still got that 6.5, 7 gap. Ooh, that's going to be pit stop there for Y Racer in fact. I thought he just made a mistake. But Y Racer peeling off into pits, pitting for the hard tyres, I've got to imagine. And now Hot Speed has a free run at Tony in the Alfa Romeo. Here comes Gareth. Closing. Is he going to be close enough for a move? No, not at the minute. The story of the race so far for the Merc. And Y Racer does put on those hard tyres. Will he come out in a nice bit of clean air? I think he will. But anyway, back towards the front. And Haslager has munched through most of his ERS that he managed to store back up. He's now gone again. And that's the yellow flag. It is Mike. Mike has had a spin. It doesn't look like there's any damage to the Alpine, no. So I think he's alright. I think he's alright to carry on. And Gareth still tucked up behind Haslager. Will we see either of these two pit? And it looks like Haslager's going to pit. Haslager peels into the pits, and now it's time for Gareth to push to see if he can get the overcut. And also Haslager doesn't want to come out in any traffic. Will any of these two pit? Hot Speed is pitting, Tony stays out, so Gareth and Tony going for the overcut. Haslager and Hot Speed going for the undercut. Let's see which one will work out better. Haslager leaves his pit box. There is a Ferrari coming, not a Ferrari, a Red Bull coming across the start finish line now. That could potentially hold up Haslager just a little bit. It's Newgarden. Although it looks like Newgarden will be a couple of seconds in front, so hopefully, yeah, it looks like everything will be alright. And 89 up to P6. Oh, this could be close. And Y Racer is actually going to jump Hot Speed in the pits. He's going to get back in front, well, he was in front anyway. But he's going to hold off the overcut attempt from Hot Speed. And now let's see. about these lot out front. Is Gareth going to respond to Haslager and pit this up, or is he going to extend maybe a little bit further? He's going to pit from the look of his line, yeah. No, he's going to stay out. No, he's going to pit. A bit indecisive from the looks of things was Gareth right there. And slows down nicely in time. Oh, a little bit cautious. Yeah, very, very cautious from Gareth. Doesn't want to speed, but also you need to carry as much speed as possible to make sure you are not losing too much time. Both Alfa Romeos are staying out. Where's Haslager? Here comes Haslager. He's going to cross the start finish line about now, and he's going to be quite far in front of Gareth, I'm pretty sure. He's going to be at least a second, 2 seconds in front. Let's have a look. That gap is huge. Gareth has lost quite a lot of time there. So a lot of work to do for the Mercedes. Although can Newgarden maybe hold him up. He is on hard, so Newgarden will be going a little bit longer into this race than the medium runners. So out front, it's now Tony, our net race leader. And Acorn rounding out a Alfa Romeo 1-2. So you've got to imagine one of these two will be in this lap. You can't have both of them pitting at the same time. You'll just lose one of them too much. And Tony's not pitting. It's Acorn. Neither is Acorn. Both staying out long. So Haslager now pretty much caught up to the back of Newgarden. He'll be looking for a way past pronto, and it could be now into turn one. Is Newgarden going to defend? Newgarden's going to leave the door open. Here's Haslager going to go for it. He's not, and that's a spin for N89. N89 spun and lost his entire front wing. Could this be a safety car? It is. This is a safety car, and this could be huge for the Alfa Romeos. The Alfa Romeos have gambled and stayed out, and look at that, it's worked. Newgarden as well. He'll also pit under the safety car. This could be a massive shake-up in the order. Can the Alfa Romeos get out in front of Haslager? And this will also allow Gareth to catch back up, although it looked like he was catching up anyway from that gap there. And also, Ryan Berry, I think he did manage to stay on the lead lap, so Ryan Berry will get his lap back, or pretty much the lap that he lost back. But can Tony get out in front of Haslager? This could be a masterful strategy from the Alfa Romeos. So coming into the pits is Tony and Acorn. What a strategy call from the Alfa Romeos. But will it pay off? Will they get in front? Well, I think we're about to find out. Where is Tony? Just about to come to the box. I don't think they're not going to get Haslager and Gareth, but they will definitely come out P4 minimum, I think. I think it'll be closer to the Y racer gets them. Where is Tony? Tony's already left the pit, so yeah, Tony's going to be P3. Where is Acorn? I don't think it's worked out as well for Acorn, but it's definitely not hurt him. Well, obviously, being the second of a double stack is not ideal. So Tony's up to P3, and he will be right on the back of these two, and he will have the freshest tyres of the lot as well. So it's looking good for the Alfa Romeos now. N89 into the box to repair that wing. He's strapped on certain mediums. The mediums can go to the end. We haven't seen Jordan in as well. He's been on these tyres for quite a long time, and I don't think he can go to the end on them, so he will have to make another pit stop, and surely you do it under the safety car instead of green flag running. So let's see if Jordan will pit this time by. So our running order now is Haslager regains the lead from Tony after his pit stop. So it's Haslager winning, Gareth second, Tony comes out in third, Y Racer fourth, Hot Speed fifth, Acorn sixth, Jordan seventh, Newgarden eighth, N89, and then Mike round out top 10. Mike and Ryan Berry are both on softs, so they're thinking about doing 15 laps on the softs at the end here. Jordan has stayed out. Jordan is not pitting, so he is looking to do a very, very, very long medium stint, nearly the entirety of this race. That is definitely going to be one to watch. But now we are just waiting for Mike and Ryan Berry to catch back up. And is that rain? It is raining! To throw in some more fireworks, there is now rain hitting the circuit. What a dramatic race this could turn out to be. So I was wondering, why on earth are people staying out and some pitting for softs? That is why. The rain has hit. Will anyone gamble on the intermediates under the safety car? Well, I guess we'll have to see over the next minute or so how the rain develops. If it gets any harder, then surely at least one person's going to gamble on the inters. It's definitely not wet enough right now, but it could definitely be in a lap or two's time. This is drama. It has been overcast all day. Even at the start of the sprint race, it was overcast, and finally, the H2O has started to fall. Will we see anyone enter the pits? I don't imagine it'll be any of the front runners. It will be someone further down, if anyone. And the front lot all staying out right now. Is anyone going to commit? Not at the minute, not at the minute. Is Jordan going to be the one? No. No one's committed. Everyone's staying out. So nobody decides to take the gamble for inters right now. But the rain is definitely coming down. As the safety car will be in this lap, because everyone has caught up now, so it's just a matter of can the front runners time their pit stop onto the inters if they're going to need one, because it's not guaranteed that it will get wet enough. I thought the rain had stopped, but it's just very light drizzle at the minute. It's definitely not inters, so it was probably the right decision for no one to pit. And with DRS not being enabled, you don't get the telltale sign of the DRS being disabled as known. That's the crossover point. But if it does get 3 laps in, we will get DRS enabled, and then they will be able to tell. But yeah, safety car coming in this lap, just popping up at the top of your screen there from race control. So once again, Haslager controlling the pace. It might even be harder this time by, as the track temperatures will cool with the rain, so there will be less temperature in the tyres, and the hards are pretty slippy at the best of times. So when they're cold and a little bit damp, they're definitely not ideal. Because look at this, Gareth really backing off Haslager here. We saw Acorn have a little bit of a struggle on the first restart, not sticking with him perfectly, but here we go again. And Haslager's gone, and he's got the jump on Gareth. Definitely not the best restart there from the Mercedes. And it all seems to be pretty single file into turn 1. Yeah, no moves being attempted just yet. And in fact, it's Acorn going past Hot Speed on the exit turn 1. Hot Speed having a little moment now, I'm going to assume. And that allows Acorn up to P5. The rain not intensifying at the minute, and there's more overtakes going on here. As Newgarden goes to the move on Jordan on his 17 lap old mediums. And out front, Tony actually putting the pressure on Gareth here. And there's more battling going on. Ryan Berry and N89. Ryan Berry gets the move done. And maybe a tiny little bit of contact, but nothing major between those two there in the battle for 9th. And Haslager almost out of a second already. There's yellows in sector 2. Mike has gone round on his softs. Here is Y Racer though. Mike, unfortunate for him. Maybe he will take a gamble on the inters. Ryan Berry and Jordan swap positions, maybe a team call there at AlphaTauri. And it's Newgarden round. Newgarden's gone round. And has he damaged that front wing? No, I think he's alright. And there goes Mike getting past. And oh, that is not a good line there from Jordan, who has contact with N89. N89 goes round for whatever time it is this race, and Jordan also being a victim of that, and he's round as well. Mike, after having that spin that's up, now finds himself up into 8th. How quickly things can change in VSL. But Haslager teetering on pulling out that 1 second gap, and it's Ryan now going for a move on top speed. These softs are working a treat compared to the hards, as you'd expect. Yeah, that is Ryan Berry has burnt a lot of ERS. I was wondering if this rain light just come on there. But no, it is actually just a lot of ERS usage from the AlphaTauri. As this train out front. Ooh, bit of a loose moment there from Y-Racer in the Red Bull. And Haslager has broken that 1 second gap. And sorry, I was completely in a world of my own there. DRS gets enabled, so it is clearly not Inters just yet. The rain, I think it may be coming down just a little bit harder, but it's still not near Inters, I don't think. And as Y-Racer opens DRS behind Tony, let's have a look at the lap times when they cross the line. That'll be the big indicator. I'd imagine if we drop below 1 minute 12s, 1 minute 11s, that's about the crossover period I would guess. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, as Gareth's actually closed back up now to Haslager a little bit, so Gareth's stepping on the pace a bit. So we'll have to have a look at what the lap times are saying. Pole was a mid 1 minute 5, just to give you an idea. And we are obviously going to be a lot slower than that. We are on hards with heavier fuel, and it is a high 1 minute 9. DRS there, disabled. It is now the crossover period. Are we going to see any of these people towards the back pit? No. No one pitting just yet. Is Jordan going to pit? Jordan is going to be our first man to pit, and you've got to imagine that will be for the Inters. So overtaking has just got a bit more difficult, as there is no more DRS for these drivers to use. And Gareth about 6 tenths behind Haslager. Not that it really matters anymore. He will, I mean, he couldn't overtake with DRS, so without DRS he is going to really struggle to make that move, I think. But we'll have to see if these drivers pit, and if they do decide to pit, well, I mean when they decide to pit, or if they decide to pit at all, because I mean there are only 9 laps left, so it's not guaranteed that they will have to pit if it doesn't get mega wet. They're all going to stay out for now, as lap times aren't actually dropping off too badly actually. They're still going to be maybe dropping into the 1 minute 10s now. Yeah, 1 minute 10.9, so lap times definitely falling. We'll have to have a look at what, keep an eye on that gap between Jordan and Newgarden. That is definitely the gap to watch. If he starts to gain huge amounts of time, then we know that the Inters are definitely the one. And is Tony? No, Tony's not going to be close enough. There's our first penalty, in fact, 10.89. So people doing really well with not extending and cutting corners. Only 1 penalty so far. That is really actually quite incredible. So that gap between ERT Jordan and Newgarden is a 21.3 at the minute. Well, that is his out lap, so not a representative lap time from Jordan. We'll have to see what he does this time by. But let's see how far is Haslager off his PB. 1.6 off at the minute. So I think we're teetering on the edge. I think I think we'll get a split. Some people pitting for the Inters, some people staying out to the end. Ooh, that was a really big moment there for Haslager there. Still in the 1 minute, well now we're in the 1 minute 11.2s. No one pitting, and that gap between Jordan and Newgarden is coming down. It's dropped by 3 tenths this lap. Let's have a look. So Gareth did a 1 minute 11.2. So let's see what Jordan will do. We'll go back on board with him just before he crosses the line to get an idea of what's going on. Ryan Berry trying to make some progress on the sauce. Ooh, really struggling on the exit there. Losing the back end. And 89 on the back of Mike. He'll be burning a bit of the RS to try to get that move done. And Jordan, a 1 minute 11.8, so only 6 tenths off for Jordan there on the inters. So they seem to be about the same pace, really. And Gareth still just stuck too far behind to make a move. No one seems close enough to make any sort of move on anyone. It is quite tame for how small the gaps are. So here comes Haslager again to complete lap 29 of 36. This could be a 1 minute 12 here. It is 12.1 now. We're down to 12, so another second lost. I am surprised that nobody else has decided to take the gamble, as Jordan is the only one still on the inters. If it gets even wetter, it's just going to come quicker and quicker for Jordan, and everyone else will struggle more and more. Oh, that's a big moment there for Haslager. This is the opportunity for Gareth. Gareth is going to burn the ERS and he's going to get the move done. That's Gareth into the lead of the race. Haslager struggles there, but is he going to come back at him down into turn 3? No, he's going to stick behind him. Oh, there could be contact here. No, managed to keep it clean. Incredible racing from these two, as you'd expect. Now it's Gareth into the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix. Takes a very defensive line into turn 4, or turn 5, sorry. And now the track is starting to look quite a lot wetter now. And I think it is probably time that if you're going to pit, you pit now. And now is Gareth going to pit? Gareth is going to pit. So Gareth is the first of the front runners to pit, and he seems to be the only one to pit. Mike has lost it. Is anyone else going to pit? Ryan Berry's going to pit as well. Yeah, Ryan Berry's going to pit. So now we have the two front runners are splitting the strategy. One on the inters, one on the hards. I'm not too sure what the lap time was there for Haslager, but the track is visually looking a lot wetter now. And these guys, most of the guys at the back now are pitting, gambling on the conditions getting worse and worse. And Haslager seems to be struggling now. He seems to be really struggling with traction and grip on the hard tyres. And Mike pitting as well. He'll come out, unfortunately for him, in last place. And Haslager is 3.4 seconds off his PB. Let's get the gap between Gareth. We'll keep it on this for a little bit, just to see. It's 19.1. It was. Now look at that, it's coming down quick. I think this has been a good call from Gareth, and I think it's been the correct call from him. And here we have Y Racer coming into the pits. Acorn going to stay out. So what's the lap time? It's down to the 1 minute 14s for Haslager. And Gareth, I think Gareth might have this one in the bag, but it's going to be close. He's got 18 seconds to catch and only 5 laps to do it. N89's had another spin. You can see there on the mediums. So his grip is gone on the dries. Where is... yeah, we want into our leader. Got back up. Gareth now starting his first proper lap on the inters. Haslager sticking out still, along with Tony, Acorn and Hotspeed the front four, and then Ryan Berry. Ryan Berry, wait. I swear Ryan Berry pit like 2 laps ago. He must have gone back onto dries on accident. That is a real shame for Ryan Berry. Surely he meant to go on inters and just has made a mistake. That could potentially have thrown away a P3, a podium for the AlphaTauri. So Haslager, let's see how the lap times are still being affected. It is all about lap times right now. The gap 16.3 out front, or between the leader of the drive and leader of the inters. What's it going to be for Haslager? It's going to be a 1 minute 14, I'm pretty sure. 1 minute 14.3. So 4 more laps. What is it going to be? Really needs to be in about the 1 minute 10s to make this work. Because I don't know. This is really, really close. How much is he going to gain? He's gained 3 seconds. It's not enough at the minute. It needs to get wetter for this strategy to work for Gareth. At the minute, I think Haslager is just, and I mean just, doing enough. And N89's gone again. N89 has gone again. He's really struggling on the dries. They're really not working for him right now. The rain continues to fall here in Austria. What is the lap time saying this time round for our leader? It's staying about the same. I don't think he's getting any wetter. That gap down to 13.5 between Gareth and Hassager. And Tony, we need to credit Tony here. He's doing an incredible job to keep up with Hassager and keep it just on the track on these dries, because this is treacherous conditions right now. 14.2 there. And what's it going to be for Gareth? It's going to be, I think, a 1 minute 11 and 11.6 for Gareth. Coming down into towards turn 2 hairpin. This is probably the main traction zone, so this is where you're probably going to lose the most. Look how long it's taking him to get on the throttle. To 12.2 now. Oh, I think Hasslagers might just about have this. I think he's just going to have enough. But what an incredible race. What final 3 laps we're in for here. Gareth gets past hot speed, so that's the first of the dry run is dispatched for Gareth. Hasslager is looking confident right now. He's definitely not leaving any lap time out on track. Oof. That is a big moment for him, and is that going to allow Tony to maybe have a run? How much? He has about 30% more ERS than Tony, and now this gap is nothing. Here comes Tony, he has a better exit. We could have a battle for the lead. Coming down towards turn 2, here comes Tony to the outside line, side by side. Hasslager late on the brakes. I don't think he's going to stop that. He managed to get stopped. That is incredible braking from Hasslager. He loses it on the exit though. Here comes Tony once more, looking for the outside of turn 3. Surely is he going to dummy to the inside? No, he's going to stick to the outside, late on the brakes. Not as late as Hasslager. Hasslager really late on the brakes compared to everyone else, it seems. He loses the rear end again. He's struggling for traction right now, and oh, look at that, side by side for like the 3rd time on this lap. This is going to cost them lap time, and quite a lot of it, I think. Look at that. This is a slow lap for these two. Gareth 6.8 behind, and that gap's going to continue to fall as we are about to start the final lap of the race. I don't think Gareth is going to have enough pace, to be honest, unless Tony and Hasslager battle hard. I don't think this is going to be enough. It's going to be a 14.6 for Hasslager. What's it going to be for Tony? Not Tony, for Gareth, sorry. An 11.4. It's not enough. He needed one more lap. Unless these two battle, Tony burning the rest of his ERS. Is he going to send one into the hairpin? He's definitely got to run. He brakes late, but Hasslager brakes just as, if not later. And Hasslager goes a little bit deep onto the curb. Now, what about the exits? Tony, what an exit! What an exit for the Alfa Romeo. He's burned past Hasslager, and Tony might have snatched this race in the last lap. Tony, oh, Hasslager's gone down the inside. Oh, that was so close to contact. Hasslager, I'm sure he was pooing himself down there into turn 3, thinking he was going to hit Tony, but Tony just about manages to hold on, and Tony might have snatched this race at the last second. And in fact, Gareth needs to worry about Acorn for 3rd. Can Acorn hold on? It's going to have to be a move into the penultimate corner for Gareth if he wants a podium here. He's burning the ERS. Acorn goes defensive. Neither of them have any ERS left. Gareth unable to go on the outside. He's going to go for the switch back into the final corner. I think Gareth is going to get it. It's going to be a drag race to the line, but Tony wins. Hasslager 2nd. It's a drag race to the line. Gareth just about gets 3rd. Acorn 4th. Wire Race is going to come home for 5th. Hot Speed is going to come home on the dry tyres for 6th. Jordan 7th. It will be, but let's go back to this man here. Tony, he managed to stick it out on the dries and make a move on the last lap for the win. And there's more battling going on here as Newgarden gets past Ryan Berry. And Newgarden is going to snatch P8 from Ryan Berry there right at the end. It's P8 for Newgarden, P9 for Ryan Berry. Where is Mike? Mike's spinning that last corner on his inters. Lucky not to lose a wheel there. He's coming over for P10. N89 will round off the field in P11 with well, it looked like wing damage. I think that's just major understeer in that Ferrari, but we're watching across the line. And there we go. But this man here, Tony, what a drive for the Alfa Romeo to come home for what was really an unexpected win. A great strategy call from Alfa Romeo to stay out long and wait for that safety car. And then he capitalises on the rain, staying out on the drive, which even I thought was the wrong decision, until about 3-4 laps to go. And he manages to capitalise on Haslager's mistakes and comes home to win the Austrian Grand Prix in an incredible Grand Prix. That was really amazing. So there you go. Tony wins the race. So it's Tony P1. Haslager led pretty much every lap apart from the one that mattered, the final lap. He's in P2. Gareth manages to recover from that pit stop to P3, beating Acorn by just about a tenth. A great day for Alfa Romeo in the constructors. Y Racer finished where he started, P5. And our NSR Hot Speed coming home for P6 and the fastest lap. Jordan 7th, Newgarden 8th, Ryan Berry. He will be a little bit frustrated with P9 because he pit, I assume, for Inters, but he was on dry, so maybe a mistake on his part or a glitch potentially. Who knows? And Mike coming home for P10 and N89 rounding out the grid. Everyone finishing the race, which is always nice to see, in P11. But what an amazing Grand Prix and what a crazy end to the race. That was insane. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you again, same place, same time next week. Thank you very much, and goodbye.